I work with Hope since June of 2001. Our children are the orphans of the community-based healthcare clients. One of the criteria is one of the parents should have been a client and an HIV person. In 1999, we started with 11 children. And then the highest point, 2007, we helped 285. So that makes us 142 for 2019. And we are so grateful now because since 2010, the donors of Maryknoll missioners, have been moved to help and has seen the value of sending these children to schools. And we are able to not only send them to school, but we have activities that would support them in their family, in their home, like having workshops for the guardians. Because a lot of our guardians have never been to school, so they don't value, they don't have that motivation to have their own children study. I came to Mission to open myself to all kinds of adventures. I call my mission adventures because it's adventures for God.
Success and achievements came my way just because I'm a beneficiary of Hope Project.
I work with the refugees escaping Somalia, Uganda, and other surrounding countries, conflict countries. I work with internally displaced persons and asylum seekers. I'm the regional advocacy manager for JRS. We work in 4 countries, Ethiopia, Uganda, Kenya, and Sudan. So I advocate on behalf of the refugees with respect to laws, with getting women rights, children rights, making sure that the government is hearing the issues of the refugees. Well, this shop, Maryknoll shop, which means works of the hand, is an outlet for the refugees to help sustain their families. These products are from Uganda, Rwanda, the Congo. There's a lot of greeting cards here, handmade greeting cards, clothing, craft work, woodwork, and weaving. So now with concerns to education, we're looking at advocating for refugees to be a part of the school system. I think education is the key to everything. So there's a big issue in getting girls educated and speaking to the father to push the girls to continue to go to school. Just the grace that God has given me to give to others, and that itself is enough for me.
The project purpose is to provide a holistic development environment for vulnerable children. Children who have been infected or affected, for the most part, from the HIV virus pandemic. So dealing with orphans, providing them a village environment within which they can be the best they can be. There'll be schools, nursery of course, primary, eventually 2 streams, secondary, a Polytech Institute. The farm will be for food security primarily, feeding the village members. Population will be about 1,200, 1,000 orphans, related staff, caregivers in each of maybe 150 homes. We need to find water. We need access to water before we take $1 from a donor. And that's the number 1 priority. This is the only water point within about 20 miles radius. And the villagers from the project site have to hire a piki motorcycle to carry it. It costs them a lot of money.
So I'm going now with this water.
Umetusaidia. Tutaendelea. Asanteni sana.
My name is Liz Mach, and I've been a Maryknoll lay missioner since 1976, so it's about 43 years now. Right now we're at a place called Jipe Moyo in Musoma, Tanzania, which is part of the Diocese of Musoma. I've been working with the diocese since 2011, so about 8 years now, working for the bishop in the Office of Planning and Development. And what we do is we administer all of the health, education, and social services of the diocese. And Jipe Moyo is one of these places, these social services. So it's really where my heart is, so I tend to spend a lot of time here. Jipe Moyo was founded as a shelter for children originally, and then it's moved into being a specialized shelter for children who are running from all forms of gender-based violence. So that could be child marriages, which we have here in Tanzania, female genital mutilation, that's the majority of our young women, domestic abuse, sexual abuse, trafficking, and most of the young boys that are here, there's about maybe 10, are all from the streets almost. Female genital mutilation is against the law here in Tanzania, and they try to enforce it, but it's very difficult because it's part of the socializing of a young woman who can then get married. And so many of the ethnic groups that are still doing it want to do this so that their girls can be married off. So we're dealing with something so deep in a culture that it's hard to make a change. In Tanzania, about 15% of the girls undergo FGM, but here in Mara region where we are, 44% of the girls undergo this. So it's education of the police, the social workers, the government people, the teachers, the parents. Education of young women today is absolutely the most essential thing that can be done to make any change in the world today. So our goal here is to get them into high school or into primary school and then high school and get through that, because then they're going to be more educated to make their own choices in the future. One of the things that we've just instituted is we've built a school for young women. We hope to get to be about 50 young women, and each year they will come and they will do a year of tutorial. If the girls are out in these villages way out, they're not getting good primary education, and because of that they can never go on to secondary school. So our goal is to go in, get 50 girls a year, do a year of tutorial, and see if we can get them into secondary schools and keep moving them forwards. Courage is probably one of the things that I admire most in all of these girls. I see 8-year-olds, I see 10-year-olds that are standing up and saying, we're not undergoing FGM, we're running from child marriage, whatever it is, and they're learning about their rights and they're stopping it. So I think the change is going to come because of them. I really love being in Tanzania. I love being here with the people and being part of this life and everything that they share with me and I share with them. There's always new challenges and new places to work and go deeper in with the women and try to work the best we can for the women and make change.